The last time I saw this man, he did me a massive favor by appearing in a Cabbie Presents video in the dopest blue Adidas tracksuit circa 1984 with James Van Riemsdyk right outside of a nightclub which no longer exists in Toronto. He even wore a mullet for the spot. I love this man. He is in the Hockey Hall of Fame for his contributions and excellence on the ice. He's royalty in the city of Toronto and an absolute G. Happy to welcome Doug Gilmour to the Cabbie Presents podcast. Thank you for being here, sir.
That'd be my pleasure. But why wouldn't you give me a heads up? I would have let my hair go and got a real mullet.
Imagine you could still rock that. There are some. I think doesn't Ron Duguay still hang on to the? I mean, I think he does TV on MSG.
Yeah,
I feel like he still hangs on to the locks that he had.
He's got hair. That's all he cares about, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, if you can still grow it, you might as well.
100%.
You got to hang on to it. Okay, I'm going to start with the hard questions first. The hardest question. How much trouble would you and your teammates have gotten into circa like 1987 to 1995 if iPhones existed?
I think we'd be caught out late sometimes.
Right, yeah.
Beyond that, it's like nothing's really changed that way, but it's just your nights out and the fun and the camaraderie that you'd have together.
No, the fun is what I mean.
Yeah.
Just the fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a different world for us, for sure.
Did anyone even have like a disposable camera back in like the 80s or 90s? Like any dude on the just even documenting just a dinner at a random steakhouse or
no, not really.
Not even a disposable camera. Like nothing was documented.
No. Honestly, we would plan our own, I guess, seeds where we're going to go on different nights. And again, back in our days, it's like every Monday night would be at Phoenix.
At the Phoenix nightclub. Yes, here in Toronto. Yeah, institution.
If we weren't playing certain weeks, Wednesday would be at Loose Moose.
On Front Street?
No, not on Front Street. It was on,
where was it before?
It wasn't Wellington. It was Richmond, I think.
Richmond? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Alice Vazouli's was right up.
Oh, yeah. That was, I think that's John and Richmond area-ish.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Adelaide. Yeah, okay.
Maybe Adelaide. So, again, then obviously PM Toronto. So it was,
which is Church and Carlton. Used to be right at Church and Carlton, right in the heart of everything.
And you know what? I lived on Wood Street, right behind the Gardens, my first year.
What do you mean? Like you had like an apartment?
Yeah, the Felix apartment was about 4 levels from me, so it'd take us 20 seconds to get to the rink. So after a game, go right to the apartment, take the suit off. Don't forget, Saturday night games were 8 o'clock then.
Okay.
So by the time we got there, it's midnight, and everything shut down at 1. So
did you guys have a nickname for your apartment or his like that building?
No. There was a couple ways we go through it. You come from Carlton Street as well.
Okay.
And go through this Quality Inn, I think it was at the time, and you go through the elevator and then kind of connect to the place. So it was great. It was like my best story with Felix. Just a really quiet guy. And so not every Saturday, but certain nights he goes, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "I'm just going to PM Toronto." I was, "Oh, forget it." So the one night, we were on Queen Street, East. It was some kind of hall where bands played.
Okay.
And it was punk rock.
Okay.
So as I say punk rock, kind of like Green Day at the time.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, "Okay, Felix, I'm going with you tonight." So we got our leather jackets on, jeans on, and grab beer. Next thing you know, I can't find him. He's in a mosh pit. And I'm losing my mind going, "Do not drop him. Do not drop him."
Is this like early 90s or like mid-90s? Like,
well, we're talking after Christmas. You know what I mean? Like 93 season.
Oh, that season. Oh.
It's like,
oh yeah, no, you can't drop that dude. No.
We're only out for like an hour and a half, but I'm like, do not drop him. It's like, that's it. I'm not going to hang with you anymore.
Would you have been responsible? And who was the GM at the time?
Cliff.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
and then
yeah.
Burnsy was the coach.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me coming back? What happened last night? Nothing. He fell. Yeah, okay. Nice.
There would have been so many mother bleepers and the language. Yeah, I miss the good old days. I mean, I still say Mother Believer, but I mean, you hearing it like the dudes, your coach would have been like right in your earball. Did cities like Vancouver or Montreal have the same cachet back then as they do now for like just nights out with the dudes, great restaurants?
Yeah, 100%.
Meeting new friends?
100%. It was...
and New York, I guess you could probably throw in there too.
New York was a tough one, honestly, because you know what? It's big. You don't really know where to go.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like... You get accustomed to people that are in front of you. So it's like, okay, we're going to go to Richards on Richards. Okay.
Right. Yes, in Vancouver. Yeah.
Okay. And then you get to Calgary. Well, guess what?
You going to Cowboys?
Cowboys, right? So it's kind of all planned, and everybody knows we're all going to meet. And so, but New York was one that, nobody could have been at the time. ESPN Sports Bar.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
We're at the Sutton Place second level elevator up, and then right across or Times Square is like, where do you go? Times Square.
Right.
You don't know.
ESPN Zone is what they were called.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I was in high school, we used to go to all ages jams. I went to high school in Cambridge, Ontario, so we'd go to Kitchener or we go to Waterloo. This is a time before.
Well, what's a big place in Kitchener? It always has the bands all the time, and
oh my gosh, Stages. I think no. There's a Stages
in Kingston.
In Kingston, yeah. Was the Stages? Was it around when you were like in high school?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Last time I went to Kingston, my dude, I was roasted.
Yeah.
Like I think I fell asleep in a pizza at around 2:48 a.m.
Yeah. In my days, Stages, they had Jeff Healy would come in and play.
Okay.
Kim Mitchell would come in and play.
That's Patio Lanterns.
Yeah. And it was fun. It's still there. It's more Queens, obviously.
Yeah.
And not geriatrics like myself. And it's like, but yeah, it's like you have a routine. You know what I mean? Like we know where to go. We know we're staying overnight. We didn't charter back in those days.
It was always overnight.
Overnight. Yeah. Playoffs, you'd charter. In reality, until 9/11 happened, that's when the charters came in, mandatory.
Oh.
So when I was in Chicago in 1999, we were United. Like we were at O'Hare just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And
You flew commercial
all the time. And if you had back-to-back games, you had the charter, but there wasn't too many of those.
Were there back-to-back games in the 80s or the early 90s?
My back-to-back game was playing in St. Louis in '83. We'd go to L.A. on a Sunday night. We played Tuesday and Thursday, and we leave Friday. So
5 days and oh boy, oh yeah.
And the worst part about it was the places that the guys would go in those days. Oh my God, I forgot the name of it, but it was a bad pub. It's like, and then times changed, and you start going to the Red Onion and different places and Marina Del Rey and
okay.
So then it changed.
Man, I'm going to get back to the thing about all these nightclubs, but bad pubs. When the LA Kings won their Stanley Cup in 2012 and 2014, their celebratory spot was a pub across the street from Matt Green's house, and that became their local pub. And it was just this. It wasn't like a hole in the wall, but it was a pretty nondescript place. But that became all of Los Angeles was this little bar in Manhattan Beach because it was across the street from where Matt Green lived.
Well, I can tell you that if you want to find me anywhere in the city that I live at, look for one of the worst pubs that's out there. Because that's what I do. Like when I was in Montreal, okay, on Crescent Street.
Okay.
I was Lower Crescent. Okay. And it was called Zanzibar. Her name was Sandy. Okay. And it was probably twice the size of this room. That was it. And
so the size of a hockey dressing room, maybe a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, and it was cement floor, 2 bathrooms. The best vodka in there was Smirnoff.
Oh my man!
And people would come in town. It's like, why are you here? Because I'm comfortable, and nobody's looking at me. Nobody, like honestly, probably for 3 months that I was there, it's like, lady said, "What do you do?" I said, "Oh, I work at the Bell Center." And I came in with stitches one night. It's like, what happened? It's like, oh, there's a fight over there. So, oh, you a bouncer? It's like, not really.
Well, I bounce pucks in the net.
Yeah.
But she had no idea you were a hockey player.
No. And
That's
then
amazing.
somebody else came in. They figured it out. But it was my haven. I just sit there for an hour, hour and a half after a game, and just whoever kind of came in town. And I'll never forget, the F1 race was going on. I had some buddies come in from Kingston. So, let's go. I took them there. The guy said, really?
Yeah, they're expecting
It's like,
great restaurants,
yeah.
or, you know, some dance clubs
No,
or whatever. I'm like, no, we're just going
You're
to go to
on
this
your
hole
own.
in the
You're on
wall.
your own, guys.
Or we're going to drink vodka 7s, friggin' Smirnoffs,
100%.
like we did in high school when someone's parents went away to the cottage for the weekend and we raided the liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
That's all they had. Okay, last thing about all ages clubs. So when we went to these clubs, these dance clubs, there was always one guy in the crew that would have a pen. Because in those days, when we talked to girls, like you want to meet girls from other high schools or whatever, you'd have to write their number. First of all, you have to talk to them in real life. There's no like just being cute on a phone. And then like at the end of the night, if you were like lucky enough to get a number, you have to write down on a napkin. Or if there was like a flyer, it was close by. But one of the dudes in the crew always had the pen.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Chad, give me the pen. Was there a guy in various teams in the 80s that was the pen guy, or I guess maybe even the 90s, that had the pen, who was the conduit for, all right, we have some new friends, and then we're going to back to...
Never even heard of that.
What?
No.
This is like, you know, maybe you had so much game that you didn't even need a pen. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all right.
sure. Sure.
All right, let's go play board games. Okay, so you're...
That'd be Jenga drunk.
Oh, that would be actually pretty fun. Actually, there's a place in Toronto where you can play like Jenga, and it's like the best. And this is the best way to like meet people. It's like a giant, like, you know.
I saw that. Yeah.
Everybody loves Jenga, and that's the key. Is you can't take away the middle pieces. The middle pieces is the key. I don't know if you're, but a lot of people go for the outside ones, which that's the way to do it. Keep the middle one. Or okay.
I can say to you though.
Yeah.
Playing in St. Louis, we had training camp in Peoria, Illinois.
Okay.
And there was one bar, I think it was called the Victorian House. And it wasn't a bar, it was a restaurant. Probably the coolest thing that I've ever seen as far as to meet people. There's a barbecue pit in the middle of the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
You go pick your own steak, you take it up, and you barbecue beside everybody that's up there. So you take your drink up there, you're making your own steak. Now, some people, if you don't want, they can make it for you. But there's garlic bread up there, there's baked potatoes up there. So you're
Really?
up there. It was a really cool idea.
Wow.
So it's still going, by the way.
It's still there.
Yeah.
I've never been to St. Louis. I got to go to that.
No, this is in Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Is in training camp.
It's similar. I guess for some people it would be similar to like what the Mongolian grill is. You sit around, or like going to like
Kind
a
of,
teppanyaki place, except you're the one with the with the cool the spatula. Okay, so you're here on to celebrate the next generation of Toronto Maple Leafs fans, and the campaign's called Leafs Next Ones. And for those listening or watching this, you can go to mapleleafs.com/next ones, NEXT001S, next ones. You do a handful of alumni events, probably a year, or, And so how cool is it for this one, for you? And can you explain a little bit about what this Next One campaign is?
Well, there's obviously a grand prize, March 24th. The donations are $10, so you have a chance for your family or yourself and 3 other people to night at a hotel, Air Canada Club, watch practice, go to the game, swag, everything else. But it's just to raise money for this cause, and it's something that for me, being a father and a grandfather.
Are you? Okay, wow.
Yes. I was a very mature kid back in the days. It's my story.
No, you weren't.
But no, I wasn't. I'm still not mature either. But it's something MLSE Launchpad that there's a building now in Moss Park that is 42,000 square feet. And it's an opportunity for kids to come in pretty much from 4 years old to 24 years old and play some sports, whatever it might be there. Also get your education. I think the biggest thing is that they say is, for me, education first.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wasn't born that way, but as the times change, education first, and then you get rewarded by playing sports.
That's cool.
And it's a really cool concept. And again, the biggest thing is the donations. You know what? Buy as many as you want, but again, it's $10 to start with. And again, it's coming up March 24th against the Red Wings, and it's a good rivalry. And as we want to see our Leafs keep getting better.
Is it available?
There's a lot of other prizes as well. And again,
the grand prize is four people or four tickets.
Prize.
You fly into the city.
And again, it's overnight, hotel room. It's
now, is it a hotel? Is it the Quality Inn by the?
No, it's not.
Old Gardens?
Come on, that's gone. I would have booked in there tonight. No.
Story time with Uncle Dougie.
Yeah. No, it's again, it's something that you think about the first 100 years, and now it's the next ones, and generation of kids are going to follow the kids now.
When you go to events, what is the thing that people want to talk to you the most about?
Oh God!
Like, what's the it's
the high stick.
Oh, that's the one, huh?
Yeah,
still
comes back. Yeah, it's like, give it up, man.
You're the master of the wraparound goal. Like, that was when I played, and I don't know if interesting. So Jalen Rose tells a story. Who was a basketball player, played for the Toronto Raptors for a little bit, how like in the early 90s, he stole a TV from Patrick Ewing, who played on the Knicks. He had this mobile TV unit that he'd watch like game tape on, but the guys played like video games on with this mobile TV. So, for many of us, like NHL 93, NHL 94 was a massive video game. When Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis came out, obviously the Madden series, were video games, like, did you just miss that window where you guys were into video games? Because it just came a little bit after?
I was never really into video games. To this day, I'm not.
Man, you were a monster in NHL 93.
Well, again, my boys, they would play it and stuff. But for my days, honestly, I try to explain to kids in junior ranks and minor hockey, watch NHL players on a Saturday night. Learn from it. See what they do. See how good they are. So that was my video games.
Oh, you just watched the games.
Come on. It was only Saturday night games we had.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd watch, and it's like try to learn, and all of a sudden Gretzky does this move, and I'm going to try it next day in practice, and that's how you learn. And just to this day, it's like I know. The junior ranks, they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday most nights, okay? So, but there's a lot of weekday games. Don't sit there and play video games. Go ahead. But if you want to be a hockey player, learn what these guys do and absorb it, and it'll make you better, believe me.
How do you communicate with kids where so many people, and I'm guilty of this too, we just live on our phones?
Yeah, come on, I can't lie. I'm the same now.
You live on your phone?
Oh, yeah. It's like.
Do you send emojis to your players?
No. I don't talk to the players at all. It's like my thing is like, Kelly will send me what I have to do.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll have it on my phone. I write everything down.
You're still like old school.
A book. I look at my book every day, what's going on, because I don't want to forget. And even though it's in here, I still have to write it down so I know what I have to do, where I'm going.
Gotcha. You have very stylish glasses, by the way. I know this is an audio medium, and some people might see this, but you have very stylish glasses. I wonder how big the font is on your phone, because you say those are your prescription glasses, yeah? Like if your font's bigger than 48, I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
So I just need to see one of your text message conversations. That is not the size of your font.
Yeah.
That's in real life. Like, look at the size of this font. This font is like 72. Did you guys see? This font is 72. Doug Gilmour. What is? No, check that. The font is 93, my dude.
Hey.
What? It must take you forever to read emails or text message conversations.
I can see it when it's back here, but my arms aren't growing. So, believe me.
Man.
Yeah.
Yo, that's the largest font I've ever seen on a phone. It's like
I still got 2 more to go.
2 more sizes bigger.
Yeah. I got lots of time.
You're the best. Okay, so you mentioned book. You mentioned your daily calendar. When you were so in 2017 you released a book, Killer My Life in Hockey. In the writing or the retelling stories, at what point did you just get sick about talking about your life? It's like, oh my gosh.
You know what? I wasn't sick of it. What happened was pretty much a year after I retired. So I'm coming up, next year's 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And people asked me to write a book. And then Kelly came to me and said, listen, off. I said, no. And then about, I believe 6 years ago, I lost my dad. And then last year, I lost my mom. And it was like, you know what? And before I started the book, Mom was dementia. And it was just like, to me, you know what? Believe it or not, I was at a medium last night, and my parents were there.
Wow!
So it was pretty cool.
Is that your first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for going?
Just kind of closure. You know what I mean? Like make sure they're good, and because it was just really unique. And again, I don't have regrets, but the regret I do have is that I should have wrote the book when they were alive to have more input from their side. So. I'm going to tell you a story. I've got this jacket I bought at Zara, and
nice.
It looks like an old couch.
I know the exact material you're talking about. That pattern.
I
yeah.
loved it. Okay, but put it on. It was they only had one there. It was a little bit bigger on me, so I put my hand in the pocket, like do it up. There's 2 dimes in the left pocket, so. When I saw the meme last night, did you get those 2 dimes out of your jacket? That's from your parents. I'm like, and it's just
what do you mean?
Well, dimes are supposed to be a reflection of if you lost somebody. So, brand new jacket, there was 2 dimes in there. If I bought the jacket right away because I believed in it, I've heard this before. This medium that I've never seen before in my life. She goes, "Yeah, you get the dimes out of the jacket." So, yeah, I did. So, believe it or not.
Wow. Wait, when did you buy the jacket? After your parents had passed? Or after your mom had passed?
3 months ago, I bought it. My mom's passed away 7 months now, 6 months now.
So then when the medium says that to you, how did you process that?
I had a tear in my eye right away. It's like, but again, I heard about this, okay?
I remember the thing about the dimes.
The dimes. So when I tried the jacket on, put my hand in the pocket, brand new jacket, there's 2 dimes in there. So I bought the jacket, whether it fit or not. I bought it. Went to see a medium, and she brought that up. Wow. She had no idea.
Yeah.
She had no idea about a jacket. But she goes, the 2 dimes you found in your jacket, that's your parents are right here.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That would like you.
And again, whether people believe it or not, I was floored.
Yeah.
I was floored. I
am just listening
scared,
to the story.
I was scared to go. You know, but it was just like it was something that I had to do, and a lot of great things, and that it's remarkable. And again, if you believe in it, great. If you don't, that's your opinion. But I was floored last night, so it was pretty cool.
Did it meet your expectations or exceed your expectations? Exceeded.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there was nothing I'm not on the internet. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. It wasn't in my book. There's no way that anyone would know. Nobody.
Yeah.
So I was floored.
So did you get closer to the closure that you were seeking?
Well, I wasn't really looking for closure.
Oh, okay.
I wanted, kind of say bye, and thank you for everything, and it was pretty cool though. So he said, your dad's very proud of you. He never showed it, and he didn't. But I said I knew that, so it was good.
So it was a tough love upbringing with your pops, yeah?
It wasn't tough love. It was just he was strict And if you want to do it, he's going to push me. If you didn't want to do it, then don't do it. And I think the learning curve out of all that is I have a lot of more emotions than he did.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's old school.
Yeah.
And, but I knew. At the end of the day, I knew. I could just look at his eyes. I knew he was proud, but he would never really say it. Because I'm dad, I'm tough. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was really cool.
Did he, like many fans, bring up the high stick?
No.
I was just joking.
Yeah, my best story with my dad.
No. Listen, you talk about it all the time. I don't want you to talk about it here.
My best story with my dad, I think I was about 11 years old. I was a little defenseman, and I tell this story all the time. And it's like I had a game that I scored 3 goals.
Attaboy.
And go to the trunk, get my equipment in the car, and Dad says, leave it there.
In the trunk?
Yeah. And I was like, why? He says, well, you didn't do anything today. Everything came natural. Didn't work. Didn't do anything. So next day, obviously he took my stuff out of the trunk when I went to bed. Next day, played again, and I didn't get 8 points. So got home, walked right in the house. He goes, whoa, son, get back here. Get your equipment. It's the best game I've ever seen you play. He goes, you worked hard. Didn't get any points, but you got to work hard. So taught me a quick lesson.
Do you think you're as tough on your kids as he was on you? Or are you like a total softie?
Softie.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like, that's so hard for some people to digest because, man, your nickname was Killer. Like, you were one of the toughest, baddest mother bleepers of your era of hockey players. And then now you're sitting in front of me like, yeah, I'm a softie.
It was survival. It broken in 83. And there was a lot of respect in the game. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to hit somebody, you better get ready. Because it could be a 5-on-5, it could be a bench clearing brawl. So there's a lot more respect that you're not going to take liberties on certain guys.
I see what you mean. Okay, yeah.
For me to go into a game, I'd look at the lineup. I didn't care who I played against offensively, meaning forwards. Example, I'll use Chicago. Okay. Chelios, take my head off.
Okay, so you're looking at the defense.
Marchman's going to take my knee out. Steve Smith's going to take my head off. Okay. You go down the list, and it's like, okay, I got these guys to go against tonight, so I got to have my head up. And, again, when you put your helmet on, your eyes change. It's like, the worst thing you do is to a good player that competes is get them mad. So when guys take liberties on you, well, game on now. Here we go. And I would do anything I can to survive. And I hurt people. I did things wrong. Take my helmet off. I'd go home and go, oh, God, did I do that? But I had to let people know that I wasn't all there sometimes.
See, some people play well with anger. Some people, maybe the anger takes over them and they can't perform as well. I mean, it seems like you played well with anger. If you were antagonized, or if someone had just, like, if you were, Bruce Banner, and then you turn into the Incredible Hulk when someone just, you get any bit of contact.
I remember Brian Sutter telling me in St. Louis, my roommate for 5 years, go and play certain teams. Play the Islanders. I'm playing against Bossy, or Trottier in the middle, but Bossy and Clark Gillies. Brian Sutter would say, whatever you do tonight, do not wake up Gillies. If you wake up Clark Gillies, that line's going to go. So I'd never wake him up.
So you wouldn't hit him? You wouldn't be extra physical?
No, not at all. Stay, because if he gets going, he's going to power over everybody. And I got it. I had to listen. I'm young, but at the same time, then as time goes on, all of a sudden, say you're kind of in the game, but you're not in the game. 5 minutes into it, you get knocked out, or not knocked out. You get hit in the boards hard. It's like, you kidding me? Okay,
now you're awake. Yeah.
So don't wake these people up.
Yeah.
And I figured a lot of people out that I played against. It's like, be calm against these guys and don't wake them up. And then other guys, you'd wake up, they get mad and do something stupid, and then you win.
Who was the guy that you played against that was always like alert and are not, or like, I guess woken up, who played it like the friggin' Ultimate Warrior, if you remember that wrestling reference.
Yes.
Do you remember the Ultimate Warrior?
100% I do.
Okay.
There was so many, like, guys, like, I don't know. Like, I go back to Chelios all the time because, you know what, had fun, partied hard, but at the same time, he competed each and every night. He played till he was 46.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was like, it was a war. And after the game was over, you'd see him probably have a beer with him. But next game, here we go again. And again, there's 20 years of it. There's a lot of guys that, you know, competed hard against you. And that, well, put it this way, playing in San Jose. And the captain of San Jose at the time was Todd Gill. Well,
Wasn't it like, they use like 6'6", like
no,
that?
not.
Oh, I'm
no,
thinking of
Todd
Hal
Gill.
Gill. Sorry, Todd Gill. Sorry.
So again, 5.5 years with him here, right? And then he gets traded, I get traded. So I'm playing with Jersey, and we're in San Jose, and he's all over me every shift. And I always try to hit guys on the calf hard. So,
in the calf muscle?
Yeah.
With your stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, when nobody's looking. Because that calf will shut down in the second, third period.
This is amazing.
So I got Todd Gill, and he turned around and hit me. And so it was a 1-1 game, I believe it was, and he took a penalty on me. He came out of the penalty box and scored on a breakaway.
Oh.
So after the game was over,
it's amazing you can remember this in such detail.
well, we were in San Jose, and Dave Ellett was in Jersey with me. So after the game was over, our manager came in and it's like, let's get in a car, go for a couple of beers. And Giller jumped in there and he goes, you should have seen my teammates today. I was like, you guys hate each other. He said, no, we don't. We're going for a beer right now. They're going, what? You guys just punch each other in the face, but you're going for a beer now? Yeah, that's how it works.
That's respect,
yeah,
and camaraderie. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know we got to wrap up soon, so I just want to remind people, mapleleafs.com/nextones to enter in this contest. We can win this fantasy trip. You to win 4 tickets for coming to game in Toronto March 24th. Yes, Doug?
Yes. It's just something that, again, $10.
$10.
And gives an opportunity for kids to have a lot of fun and grow, and just like our, kids that I have. You don't have kids yet, but
no, sir.
It's like be respectful kids and learn, and education most important. Have fun with sports.
I wish this was longer. Like, there's so many. I want to do so many deep dives. Like that last story you told me was amazing. Like I wish. The next time we have one of these.
When I was writing the book, it's like, I bet you we had to cut 700 pages out.
Yeah, we had to cut 700 pages because the font was too big.
Yeah.
700 pages of 93-point font, which is really about 61 pages.
Yeah, well, hey.
I'm just messing with you.
It's a lot better. I still got Pong. When that thing gets bigger, I can see it.
You're the best. True G, and it was my pleasure having you here. Thank you for joining me on the Cabbie Presents podcast. Doug Gilmour, my man.
Cabbie, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.